Okay, been doing lots of grinding, lots of welding, as you can tell if y'all been watching what I've been doing. But there's my tailgate. I know it's not traditional, but it was a much simpler design for me to go with to, you know, to be able to have a tailgate. Closes and latches like it should. Lines are pretty good. I got plastic caps that go on this. Obviously I got to sand everything down and repaint everything. I'm going tan, just keeping it like it was, but it's going to be a military style tan. Anyway, it'll be tan with black detail. I welded this back in there. It'll be welded more in full, or maybe a piece of angle iron on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do there, but that's that. I got to clean all this up and then cut the hole for the gooseneck. Yes, this will have a gooseneck. I got all this ground down. Obviously it's not perfectly straight. If you were able to feel what I'm feeling right now, you feel waves all the way down. So clearly I can't just paint that and roll with it. Otherwise, when the sun gets just right on it, you'll see it, especially, you know, with it just being wavy like that. So I did find bed rails online that are for Dodge trucks, and they come down about right there. So if I get those and put those on here, that'll, you know, plastic bed rail caps, I think that'll kind of tie it up a little better than what it is. This is this side. I got to put the fender flare on and all that. Obviously I'll do that when I paint it. I went with the slant on the back. I thought it had more of a, I guess more of a aggressive sort of factory look. Thought that was kind of neat. And then this right here, I have to trim down just to line up and everything. The body lines on a JK, I guess, kind of rotate out the back or something like that. So got to do that. I was wondering if the bed needed to be like lifted up, but I'm not really sure. I mean, it looks kind of like it maybe needs to. What if I do? I haven't even put the bed mounts in yet, so if I do, I'll just jack it up and figure that, you know, sweet spot out and then weld the bed mounts in place, and then there it is. There it is on the front. The LJ front end was a nightmare to make happen. This is not a direct fit in any way, by any means. You have to pretty much cut the grill supports. You have to stretch it so the headlights will line up with this LJ grill. You have to cut the fenders and extend those. Same thing with the other side, obviously. You have to change and widen the hinge brackets. It's a whole lot for LJ front end, but it gave me 2.5 inches more for that Cummins to fit. So that's always a good thing. See all the clearance I have right there? We'll see if I can kind of get it straight down. Obviously the fan will not be there. It'll be an electric fan. Can't really see very well, but there's the turbo on the Cummins there. Eventually I'll have all these wires tucked like they should, and I'm going to do wheel wells. I'm not going to leave it open like this. Not really a fan of mud and dirt and rocks and whatever else is on the road might shoot up in there. Lots of grinding dust has translated to this little dusty rust cover on everything. So I'm going to have to pressure wash this off like very well, and then I'm going to repaint all this. So I'm going to lift this bed off with my wrecker over there. And when I do that, I'll just paint all this and tidy all that up. This will definitely change. I'm not a big fan of I like tips, but not tips that long. So I'll change that to like a shorter tip. Actually have one right there. So for the rear bumper, I got the tow package in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to raise or lower it. I'm hoping I don't have to really do much with it. It looks really, really low, but when the bumper goes on there, it may not look like that. So the bumper I'm using for the rear is the one that came off the Dodge, which I think is actually a Chevrolet bumper. So aftermarket, obviously very heavy. I'm gonna have to cut, you know, a large section out of the center and push it together, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna redesign how the curvature is here on both sides. You know, that way it has more of a factory look. So we'll see how that goes. If that don't really feel like it's gonna play out, I may just order like a, you know, Wrangler JK rear bumper that looks cool, you know. So that tail section is all pretty much a factory Wrangler JK, so I can easily find the JK bumper and just redesign the bumper mounts and things like that. That's the bed sides off of that bed originally. What else was I gonna do? Oh yeah, the bumper, front bumper. Someone asked me if I was gonna do, what kind of bumper I was gonna do, if I was just gonna leave it like that. But I'm going to put this winch bumper on there. It's got a kind of an aggressive look. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it once I put it on there, but we'll see. I'm going to play with it and see what it looks like. I think it might look pretty cool. But I got to figure out how it's going to mount. I can't just simply bolt it on there, you know, so I have to create some mounts on this frame here that will line up with the JK mounts. And, you know, I could easily just cut the frame mounts off of this right here, and then it would be a direct bolt up. But I'm trying to keep that frame intact for be able to have money returned from this whole project. Yeah, selling the parts has actually been a pretty handy thing. I didn't realize how much people really like the Wrangler JK parts as far as the engine and transmission and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I got all this stuff where it'll close and do like it should. I need to get some paint on this stuff for real quick. Eventually I'll have some primer that's going to work pretty well in this and tidy it all up.